Hi everyone, this is Crystal Davis. Today I want to share with you a really important story, my story. Most of you know that I leapt out of a six-figure job, that I had bankruptcy, that I really struggled to get clients when I first started my business. And you know now that I have a business that I love and the life that I love, and I'm traveling and I'm really enjoying. Life is wonderful. I have just really some amazing clients. But most of you don't know the insider story, what really happened with me and for me during the last 4 years as I built up and out and through me, my business. And so today I want to spend some time with you on this, really have a heart-to-heart with you. So you might see some tears, just a warning for those of you that may not want to get emotional. This is a very emotional story for me. So I just want to let you know that up front and in advance. So I was in my six-figure job with the FBI. I had been with the federal government for 10 years with the Treasury Department, and then I left that job in D.C. to come back home to West Virginia, work for the FBI, do a job which I thought I would absolutely love. And it ended up that I loved the work itself, yet inside of me there was just this feeling of insignificance, this feeling that I was odd or different and that people didn't understand me, and I would cry very often. It was very painful experience, and I really didn't know why. I just knew that something had to change. And so back in 2009, I started my company. Little known to me, within a few months I would lose my mom. Within a year of that, my husband left. And then I decide that it's really time for a change. That the problems that I was having there in that job, things had to change, and I had to change. I didn't really know what any of that meant. I leapt out of that job because I had faith in this presence, this power that I call God. I had such faith that everything would be different and that I could change my life. So I bravely, courageously said, I'm doing this thing. Part of it, I really believed at that point, and I still believe, that in order to receive the new, we have to let go of the old. So the conclusion I came to is I'm supported, I'm loved, and I absolutely can make this leap. And so I did. I did. I left with a couple of clients and armed with, well over 2-3 years of in-depth study of my work, in addition to probably another 7 years of strategic planning experience, accounting experience, an MBA. And I had the toolkit. I absolutely had the toolkit. But when I left and then I got out there, I realized, I just knew it was a struggle. It was a struggle talking to people. It was a struggle really connecting with them. I would go to one networking, and I know some of you have heard this part of the story, that I went to one networking event after another and I would crash. I just couldn't figure it out. So, and I even called. I remember one time period for a couple months, I called, I don't know, somewhere between 90 to 100 people. I kept calling, and didn't convert, didn't transition one person into being a client. Very painful experience. So what happened is I ended up not having the money flowing in that I needed to pay my bills, to pay for my house, to pay for my my mortgage, and to pay my bills. I still had debt. I still had, I was way deep into side of debt, and the house was nice big house, and so I couldn't afford it. And so in the midst of all of that storm, this is the good. The good was I left the job courageously. The bad is I couldn't find the client. The ugly is that I actually got down to $2 at one point. $2. And I just simply kept doing. It's true of me to this very day. I keep doing what it is that is in front of me to do. Even when I got down at the lowest point, down to $2. Literally $2 cash, that's all I had. I kept taking action. I kept putting myself out there, meaning I did what I could with what I had from where I was, and I just kept moving. Sometimes that meant I did allow myself to cry, and I allowed myself to really process this. And that's really what I found. So the turning point for me was when I started asking for help. Things really started to shift when I started leaning on my support structures and getting the fact that I was the one that had to change, that it wasn't the job, it wasn't the people that I was surrounded, it was me and my belief in me. And so one of the very first things I did, I was losing my house, like, moving in with my sister for a few months while I got my feet on the ground. My other sister, actually, she's a great cook, so I'd go to her house for dinner, and that was really wonderful to connect with my family. My brother actually rented me a house once I had the money flowing back in to get me started again, so that was really wonderful. So my whole family was supporting me, and my coach was supporting me as well. So, because I had invested in a support structure, thank God I had invested in a support structure. And so the turning point was starting asking for help. And what was always with me, and I didn't see this for the longest time because there was a lot of guilt and shame around having the failures. What I saw as failure at the time, now I see as really great opportunities to grow and learn and be my best, which is what I always wanted. And so the turning point is really, learning to rely on others and keeping going, persisting. I've told many people, in my classes, my clients, anyone that I meet, I talk about how Think and Grow Rich and all these wonderful books that I teach on in my success library. I've read them well over a couple hundred times, every book that I have, but these were my support. These were the pieces that helped me to learn and to grow and to be the woman that I am today. So I still take, because business is business. Sometimes we need cash flow for things, for the opportunity to grow our business. And sometimes, one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, he says, if you're not living life on the edge, you're taking up too much space. I knew that when I left my job 2.5, 3 years ago. I knew that. And now I know that. I know how to live that life. I know how to persist in the absence of evidence of things coming together. And I trust that this presence, this power, this life, this creator, the God of my life is here, and that things are always working themselves out. I have experienced that time after time after time. So I share this story with you today because I want you to know that for yourselves. That the most important thing, and what I really know now that I went for, was my own significance. That I matter. That I have these gifts and talents and abilities. And God gifted us each with leadership gifts and strengths and talents. It's our job to use them. And so nothing at all that I've shared with you today was a failure. It was absolutely every step that I needed to take in order to build my muscle, my strength, and to tap into what Master Jesus calls the pearl of great price. I traded that life that I was living of insignificance and feeling so different and so out of the mainstream. Now I feel that I am significant, that I do matter, that my work is so important, and so I'm so grateful that I've traded my life for that life that I was living for this new life, because it's absolutely worth it. And so I just really wanted to share that with you today. it was coming up for me, and as I connected the dots over the last year in particular, it gets stronger and stronger for me. So I hope you are touched by this. I hope it will help you to understand some of your journey, and to know that the journey yet for you to walk as you're building your dreams for your business, for your life, building your own pearl of great price and shining that pearl, right? That every step you take is absolutely leading you to along the path, your divine path, to being the crystal clear you, and to creating the life that you truly, truly love, and that you're worth it. Absolutely worth it. Alrighty, thank you for listening. And if you have any comments or feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Alrighty, lots of love. Bye-bye.